Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Stephanie Gorham, Executive Director of Volunteer Hampton Roads. I'm so excited you could all join us this afternoon for the 45th Annual Volunteer Achievement Awards. Since our founding in 1957, Volunteer Hampton Roads' mission is to mobilize a community of volunteers to create positive change. Being the only comprehensive volunteer center in Hampton Roads, we see how volunteers impact our community through service to nonprofit organizations. By leveraging the power of people, Volunteer Hampton Roads helps nonprofits build capacity by strategically identifying and connecting them with volunteers equipped to support their organizational needs. From big events to everyday tasks, our community relies on Volunteer Hampton Roads to harness the power of volunteerism to make a difference in Hampton Roads. 2020 was a challenging year for our organization and the 150 nonprofits we serve. Even with the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, over 10,000 volunteers answered our call to support mission-critical services to nonprofits. These services provided by volunteers equaled out to be 43,000 hours of immeasurable impact on the lives of our region's most vulnerable. Last year, volunteers donated over $1.2 million worth of service back to our community. We're grateful for their donation of time and talent. We are equally as grateful for our donors who continue to support Volunteer Hampton Roads as we're tirelessly working in response to the ever-changing needs of our community throughout this pandemic. Each year we host the Hampton Roads Volunteer Achievement Awards during National Volunteer Week. However, this year we changed it up a bit. We decided to hold the celebration after National Volunteer Week. This allowed our sponsors and dedicated volunteers to do what they do best: volunteer. Last week, which was National Volunteer Week, we engaged over 200 volunteers from our corporate sponsors to deliver a wide range of essential services benefiting the Virginia Beach SPCA, the YWCA of Southampton Roads, Children's Health Investment Program, Norfolk Botanical Gardens, Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Virginia, Wesley Community Center, Village Family, and Mercy Straubs. The sponsors of our 45th Annual Hampton Roads Volunteer Achievement Awards recognize the importance of volunteers. Their support acknowledges that every volunteer has the potential to make a difference in the lives of others. A special thank you to our visionary sponsor, Centera Healthcare. To our leadership sponsors, ADP, Birdsong Peanuts, Centura College, Demuth Train, and Sumitomo. Our community sponsors, Checkered Flag Auto Group, Dollar Bank, Hoffman Beverage, and Town Bank. Today we are celebrating volunteers who are living our mission to its fullest. The 2021 honorees are the best in their respective categories, showcasing what it is to be an outstanding volunteer through passion, initiative, and commitment.
For the past 45 years, Volunteer Hampton Roads has brought us together to honor our local heroes who dedicate themselves to service and offer solutions to daily challenges, oftentimes without reward or recognition. Today, we shine a light on the contributions each of these individuals and organizations have made to make a great community even greater.
I'm Howard Kern. I'm President and CEO for Centera Healthcare. I'm pleased to be here on behalf of Centera and our board of directors in recognition of Gil Bland, the recipient of the 2021 Lenora Matthews Lifetime Achievement Award. The recipients of this award operate under the simple belief that the world can be a better place if we take the time to help one another. Gil Bland absolutely meets these criteria in many ways. Gil is both an tireless volunteer in so many different activities that it's hard to name them all. But I'll start with the Centera board that he serves on. Gil Bland has been a longstanding board member on Sentara Healthcare's board of directors. On that board, he plays a very active role in many dimensions, but most notably in helping Sentara engage in its responsibility to serve our communities. Gil has been incredibly valuable in helping Sentara make important connections in many of our communities where healthcare is not as well connected as it should be. And we have really looked to Gil and depended on his guidance and leadership to help make important connections with community leaders, clergy, and other important connections to allow Sentara to better serve important underserved communities in our region. Gil and I also serve on a number of other boards, including the Hampton Roads Community Foundation, E3 Schools, the programs for reinventing Hampton Roads, amongst many other programs. Gil is involved in an amazing array of community activities. So I can only say that of anybody that I can think of that would be appropriate to recognize for this Lenora Matthews Lifetime Achievement Award, Gil Bland is at the top of the list. And I am so proud to be one of the people that is here to recognize Gil for this tremendous honor. Congratulations, Gil, and I am thrilled for you and congratulate you wholeheartedly for this well-deserved recognition.
Like many folks that grew up in African-American homes, you saw volunteerism almost daily, and it was all church-related. My mom was a pianist for 70 years. My father was chair of the trustee board, and watching what they did was almost mandatory and became a roadmap for what I would do and how I would pursue opportunities to help others.
He has a wealth of knowledge as far as leadership, how to build teamwork, how to get the best out of people. He's got a winning attitude. He feels like there's nothing that cannot be accomplished if people work together. And I think he brings that to the organizations that he represents. His passion, I think, is very important. He's got passion for things that impact the community, such as education, health, workforce development, making sure that every member of the community is empowered.
He wants this to be a healthy community, top to bottom. So he's looking out for people that have difficulty looking out for themselves. So that's the kind of thing that Gil can do in this community. He's the kind of volunteer, he's the kind of board member, he's the kind of person you want on your team.
It's his commitment and his passion to make people's lives better. Gil takes that with him everywhere he goes. There's no compartment that he puts that in. Wherever he is, he's trying to make a difference in people's lives.
The Urban League has a slogan and really a philosophy of empowering communities and changing lives, and I fully subscribe to that. I think it serves as a instructive tool in how we manage our efforts and how we reach out to help others.
Every day gives you an opportunity to make a difference, to impact someone else's life, not only your life, but the lives of people around you, and to make a difference, to make it a more positive world, to help empower people, and to make this a better society. And I think that kind of spirit, which is something that he brings to every organization that he's associated with, is something that will live on and be a great legacy for him. And obviously, I think is a part of one of the reasons why he's being honored tonight.
Volunteering has not only been a forum to help, but it's also an opportunity to, at least for me, to find a level of personal, internal satisfaction. I'm also motivated by, in particular, my African-American ancestry of all the sacrifices made before me, and it's afforded me any number of opportunities I could not have achieved or even considered by myself, and that to pay it forward and continue to reach out and help others, and with the hopes that generations following me would have even more opportunities, is a tremendous motivational factor for me.
But I think Gil brings to the table the same thing I do, and that is I want to make sure I'm not the last person who looks like me who's able to do this. You want to make sure you open up the door for those who come behind you so that there is opportunity for others to stand on your shoulders and to move forward and to make a better world for all of us.
You can take one lesson from his life is that if you really want to make a difference, it's not a transaction. You have to be willing to be in the trenches, day in and day out, year in and year out.
Being Gil's friend and associated with him in community activities, I've learned more about the importance of diversity. I've learned more about the importance of inclusion. Gil's always looking for people that need a little assistance. He's looking out for other people. So that's what I've learned from him, and I suspect a lot of others have too. It's he wants to make things better. So that's a good way to get up in the morning.
And I have come to a realization in my life that service will be the defining factor for me as the reason why I was born. It is the personal incentive for me moving forward. So I offer that statement to anyone listening to me. Join us all in volunteering and service. It makes a difference in our communities. It makes for healthier communities, more empowered communities.
Hi there, I'm Joel English, Executive Vice President of Centura College, Aviation Institute of Maintenance, and Tidewater Tech. The Harvey L. Lindsay Jr. Changemaker Award recognizes an emerging community leader who serves as a catalyst for change. The namesake of this award has served as a changemaker throughout his life. Even after stepping back from public service, he continues to develop our community's next generation of leaders. Harvey L. Lindsay began serving Hampton Roads as a young man through board service, including serving as the president of the Urban League of Tidewater, president of the Norfolk Chamber of Commerce, and chairman of the steering committee for the United Way Capital Fund campaign. He used these positions to lead desegregation efforts in the city of Norfolk and helped build Eastern Virginia Medical School and the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters. His impact can still be seen in our community as those he mentored have stepped up to serve, making Hampton Roads a better place to live. The Changemaker Award recognizes someone who's building their legacy of servant leadership in Hampton Roads, and there's no more deserving recipient for this award than Andrea McClellan, City Councilwoman of Norfolk, Virginia. Andrea has been a warrior in infrastructure improvements in the Commonwealth, dedicating herself to the fight for high-speed internet, gender and equity issues, and improved transportation and education within our community. And there's no stronger leader tackling the climate crisis, leading Virginia toward cleaner, greener, and a healthier Commonwealth. Within my institutions, Andrea has led our faculty to developing clean energy programs, including Virginia's only accredited wind turbine technician program, as well as our new developments in solar energy and electric vehicle technology. Our city, our region, our state, and our country are stronger with Andrea at the helm of change. Andrea McClellan is the epitome of changemaker within our Commonwealth. And on behalf of Centura College, Aviation Institute of Maintenance, and Tidewater Tech, I am pleased to honor Andrea McClellan as the recipient of the 2021 Harvey Lindsay Jr. Changemaker Award.
Andrea has put together programs to increase awareness of how people can get involved and better their community, but she herself does it on a daily basis. And so I think she has shown others, both from just the constituent level, as well as other decision makers, as well as nonprofits, statewide leaders, that we just have to dig in. We have to lean in, and we have to tackle these issues one at a time and work with them.
I'd been newly elected, and I was with a group of friends, and everybody was all of a sudden woke. They all wanted to make a difference in our community. And I heard often, though, they didn't know where to start. And of course, the answer was volunteer Hampton Roads, right? But the other thing that I did was I put together Engage Norfolk, and it was really a function of trying to connect people, finding out what their passions are, and figuring out what they could do in the community.
Because I think many hands make the light work, and what Engage Norfolk gets us out of the mindset of trying to change the entire world and just change our world. So people get to find that niche thing and then change their world, which ultimately makes our city, our region, our state, our world a better place. And that's all through something by saying, I'm just gonna get a bunch of people with their stuff together and connect the dots. That's Andrea.
She, like I, love Norfolk so much we want to change it. A more entrepreneurial, more inclusive, a more cohesive community, treasuring and heralding those things that are great about our past and our institutions, our Navy and our port, but also allowing for a future where folks have an economic and community stake that'll allow for more people to prosper and thrive and enjoy this great city.
I think working together regionally is something that we can always do better, and I think that we are starting to do better. And truly, the best examples of regionalism and successful regionalism are through our volunteer boards. You know, whether it's our public radio, whether it's through the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the arts organizations. They're truly regional in character, and they can be a real role model for the electeds to follow and see how people can work together to get things done.
As a regional organization, we never forget that our local elected officials have more than a full-time job at home, serving as an elected official for a city or a county. And when they are willing to step up into a regional role as well, we always remember that's in addition to their local responsibilities. So just tremendous respect for the energy Ms. McClellan brings to her regional efforts and the excitement that she brings, which really make significant contributions to our community.
And Andrea is really focused on the social capital of Norfolk. She has been a leader on council and throughout the community in encouraging volunteers to get involved on boards and commissions and bringing in people from all walks of life. The Elizabeth River Trail, where we work together, I think she and I look at that as a 10.5-mile long public square where folks will collide and come together and maybe say, well, let's go over to Smartmouth and have a beer and figure out other ways we could improve Norfolk. So she's really laser focused on social capital, whether she uses that term or not.
But there have been several instances where Andrea has come and said, if not you, then who? Because we need this person at the table. We need someone with this knowledge. We need someone with this experience. And it can't just be me.
Andrea teaches that we need to care, we need to take action, and we need to get the right people at the table and do what's right, particularly in our case with natural resources.
The leadership around regionalism, around consensus building, around thinking innovatively, how we move collectively the entire 757 forward. Those are the things that we learn from Ms. McClellan on a weekly basis.
You know, I lived in LA, I lived in Philadelphia and outside of New York, and it's really hard to make an impact there, but in Hampton Roads, you can do a little and make a lot of difference. And so that's really exciting, whether it's in the arts and the environment, regionalism, focusing on, there's just so many ways to make a difference here. And it's a lot of fun. You create a much bigger network of friends and colleagues through it as well. And it's part of who I am. It's part of my DNA.
Hi, I'm Michael Donahue, Vice President and General Manager of 180p Norfolk. It is an honor to be receiving the Corporate Volunteer Excellence Award from the Hampton Roads Volunteer Organization. I am so thrilled to be sharing this award with our associates, as it's truly their award. Giving back to our communities is in our DNA. Social responsibility is one of our 7 core values here at ADP, and we stand behind it wholeheartedly. So I would like to thank all our associates one more time for all they do, giving back their time and energy to our communities, and I know our communities appreciate it. I look forward to the time that we are all back in the office and able to, again, volunteer our time to support our communities in person. Thank you again.
Corporations really have a unique ability to be part of the community, and that's what ADP has shown. They are out there in so many different capacities, volunteerism, giving, all of these different tenets of giving back, and that's really important.
ADP's volunteer program has many different components. The first one, and the one that everyone seems to be very familiar with, is the one where we offer 8 hours of paid time off for volunteerism. Every associate gets 8 hours a year to be used Monday through Friday so that they get away from their desks and they go and support a cause that they stand for and they believe in and that they're passionate about. They can do it by themselves, they could do it with a group, they could do it with a team, but what we ask is that they do it Monday through Friday, so it takes them away from their work day.
ADP has been working with my school for about 3 years, and the impact that they have is just letting our students and our staff know that we have a team to work with us in the community. They have been very consistent and very passionate when they come in the building, so just for everyone to know that there's a group of people out there that care and that are willing to do what they need to do so the school can be successful.
When it comes to volunteering within 180p Norfolk, it is 100% associate driven. They come to us with the ideas, we survey them, we poll them, and then we make the decisions as an associate pool. So it's all together with us. And afterwards, we follow back up with them to let them know exactly what's been done with their ideas and their suggestions.
One of the best parts about our partnership with ADP is that we had the opportunity to train their employees through a lunch and learn. And what that does is it takes this critical information and it allows each of them to feel like an ambassador of Safe House Project.
This past year, they also donated coats for each one of our students. So we have about 300 students, and every student was able to wear, to get a new coat, whether they had one or not. And our parents appreciated that. Even with the school supplies, it's just something that they don't have to worry about. As a school and as the principal of the school, we don't always have all the funds that we need in our budget, and to have someone to be able to provide necessities like school supplies and coats and things like that has been great for our school. And the other thing that is just phenomenal that they do, at the end of the year, our students take SOL tests. So about over half of our school are participating in those tests, and each student gets a personalized note for every day that they take the test. So for a student to sit down and they're already nervous and they have a note from someone with their name on it, it's just great for our students just to have those encouraging words in high stakes testing.
Going in, you think it's one thing. Hey, I'm gonna go in, career day, but no, you're consistently reaching back out to them. You're wondering, hey, what's next? What else do you need from us? You're inclined to get your peers more involved, the ones that are kind of stagnant at their desk, like, hey, come with me, make sure that you come out, experience this, and then they're telling the next person. And the goal is to make sure that everybody is involved because each person counts, and we do have a responsibility to our community as well. And I think that's just the very first step to make sure that everybody makes sure that they get out and share that.
I know for us at Safe House Project, having members of the ADP team who are coming on as community speakers or who invest their time into executing our gala every year is invaluable, because those are people that we would otherwise have to pay for. And so when we have those individuals say, I'm really great at event planning because I get to do that at ADP, or I'm a sales rep and I know how to talk to people and convince them to do something. I love that. I'm like, great, come on in. We have more than enough room and we need all the help we can get to make sure that we can do our job, and they're equipping us to really be more effective.
So there's a lot of different ingredients that we put into the melting pot that help us to have an organization that performs so well. But I will say the ability to give back to the community is one of the top reasons we are able to be as successful as we are, because they have to come together on one common cause or many common causes that may or may not have anything to do with ADP, may or may not have anything to do with, you know, them as an individual. So I think it really drives performance, and you will see it if you make the investment.
Adult volunteer Darlene Malott. Since 2018, Darlene Malott has served as an essential part of Mercy Chef's kitchen team, preparing and serving food for Park Place School 2 times every week. Darlene's dedication extends beyond the kitchen to the kids she serves. She is an example of unconditional love and support and creates stability for students who live in an unstable world. Her consistent service as a volunteer allows Mercy Chefs to reassign paid staff to focus on new initiatives. She is an essential member of the Mercy Chefs team. Adult volunteer Louis Swartley. Louis Swartley has over 20 years of service to Norfolk Sertoma and the Hope House Foundation, helping to raise over $1 million for local organizations. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Louis stepped up to secure meals for frontline healthcare workers, people out of work, individuals with disabilities, and underprivileged families. He coordinated a huge effort gathering local chefs and refrigerated trucks, personally delivering food, and beginning an Adopt a Family program. While the rest of the world was shutting down, Louis worked to ensure that the most vulnerable would not be forgotten. Senior volunteer Deborah Griggs. Deborah Griggs' dedication to caring for animals living in shelters is clear through her extensive volunteer history. From cleaning animal cages to developing strategic plans, her commitment to every task is thorough and steadfast. Most recently, as the president of the Virginia Federation of Humane Societies, Deborah launched an initiative to increase Virginia's save rate for sheltered animals. Not only did her program drastically improve Virginia's save rate, but it has become a nationally recognized model to be replicated. Senior volunteer Dennis Plank. Over the last 10 years, Dennis Plank has volunteered over 5,000 hours building or rehabbing more than 50 homes with Habitat for Humanity. As a Red Hat crew leader, Dennis guides day-to-day volunteers. He is on site sometimes 5 days a week, patiently teaching inexperienced volunteers how to do whatever tasks are needed. Dennis is so committed to affordable housing that after having major heart surgery last summer, he returned to the build site shortly after recovering to help finish the build. Dennis is the heart and soul of the Red Hat program. Youth volunteer Cameron Hart. As a Girl Scout for 12 years, Cameron Hart has provided countless hours of service to Hampton Roads. To earn the Gold Award, Cameron has assisted students who experienced difficulty assimilating into the American culture because of language barriers. She created a peer tutoring program for ESL students learning the English language that educated them while providing an opportunity to connect with the outside community. Cameron's project did not stop there. She shared her program's curriculum with the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority to expand the reach of this opportunity for ESL students beyond her community. Youth volunteer Kyle Restrepo. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Kyle Restrepo has become instrumental to the King's Grant Presbyterian Church Virtual Learning Center. The 16-year-old is a hard-working self-starter who has improved the experience for the children in the program immeasurably. Students can count on Kyle to help them access virtual learning and to supply enrichment activities outside of class. Kyle has proven his worth so much so that even adults in the program turn to him for direction. Skill-based volunteer Mary Helmer. For the last 8 years, Mary Helmer has volunteered twice weekly at the Western Tidewater Free Clinic. She provides a variety of services, providing direct care, teaching wellness, comforting through nursing interventions, and identifying needs of individuals and the community at large. Mary shows exemplary leadership by training volunteers and clinical staff. Most importantly, Mary emulates the clinic's vision to improve the lives of the underserved and create stronger, more caring, and healthier communities. She is highly respected by patients, volunteers, and staff because of the way she treats others. Best of Board Volunteer Amanda Lloyd. Amanda Lloyd is a dedicated volunteer for organizations such as the Junior League of Norfolk, Virginia Beach, the City of Norfolk Planning Commission, and the Commonwealth of Virginia Historical Records Advisory Boards. Amanda uses her experience as the director of Tidewater Community College's Academy for Nonprofit Excellence to be an effective and engaged board member. She can be seen working on anything from fundraising to recruitment events to women's health initiatives to organizational operations. Amanda has a passion for volunteerism and doesn't hate to move when she sees an opportunity to make an impact. Family volunteers, Carrie and Craig Upton. 10-year cancer survivor Craig Upton and his wife Carrie are longtime volunteers with Lee's Friends, a cancer support organization. The Uptons have logged over 16,000 miles driving cancer patients to treatment appointments. Carrie volunteers in the office, and Craig is involved with the one-on-one counseling program. When Lee's Friends was closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Carrie and Craig shifted gears to deliver Meals on Wheels twice weekly. The Uptons feel that the last 10 years have been a gift and work hard to pay it forward in every way. Family volunteers, the Watkins family. The Watkins family has volunteered at the Eastern Shore Chapel Food Pantry for over 3 years, and at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, they began working every Saturday morning, rain or shine. Birthdays or anniversaries, and even holidays, you can find them there. Parents Narissa and Anthony created an efficient parking plan for the hundreds of cars coming through, and their children direct cars, greet guests, and carry groceries. The Watkins have formed relationships with weekly guests, and their cheerfulness and kindness are a comfort for those struggling with food insecurity and tough times. Community volunteer group, Women United. Since 2002, Women United has been committed to helping women and children reach their potential by moving out of crisis and into self-sufficiency. Throughout the year, their 750 members can be found feeding families at their Stone Soup event, tutoring children through reading sessions, donating clothes to working women, and collecting essentials for single moms. When a need arises, Women United rises to the challenge. Community Volunteer Group, Kings Grant Presbyterian Church. Since September of 2020, Kings Grant Presbyterian Church has offered a virtual learning center in their building. There has been a huge need for virtual learning centers that provide safe spaces for children's virtual schooling. The 40 hours a week program offers volunteer-led supervision, programming, and facilitation. To date, over 1,000 volunteer hours have been served. With the volunteers' help, students are given the guidance needed to keep up with the challenging demands of virtual learning. Corporate volunteers, Town Bank's Hope House Elves. Since 2013, Town Bank's Hope House Elves have served Hope House, an organization dedicated to helping adults with disabilities find their independence and inclusion in the community. The service project began as an offshoot of Family Volunteer Day, but has evolved into a separate event that allows Town Bank employees and their family members to spread holiday cheer to the employees and residents of Hope House. Corporate volunteers, George and Kim Melnick and the team at Premier Millwork and Lumber. George and Kim Melnick, owners of Premier Millwork and Lumber, know how impactful service can be. For years, they have volunteered with various church and arts organizations. So, when the Children's Health Investment Program of South Hampton Roads called them with a request to create desks for virtual learning, their natural response was to jump into action. The entire team at Premier Millwork and Lumber got involved, fundraising for supplies, creating desks, and delivering the product to children throughout Hampton Roads. With their support, over 2,000 students received a desk, giving them their own space dedicated to learning. Nonprofit volunteer group Princess Anne Courthouse Volunteer Rescue Squad. The Princess Anne Courthouse Volunteer Rescue Squad has served Virginia Beach since 1947. The nonprofit's 100 volunteers respond to about 5,000 calls a year to provide emergency medical service and save lives. Beyond the typical EMS duties, they connect with the community through outreach events including first aid and CPR training. The rescue squad was the first on the scene of the 2019 Virginia Beach active shooter incident, and despite its effects on volunteers, they remain steadfast in their support and love for the community, providing a quality of service that is unique to our area.
Congratulations and thank you to all of our honorees today. You have truly made an impact on our community, and I am sure you will continue to do so. I'd also like to thank all of our volunteers, our donors, and our nonprofit partners. You are what makes our community resilient. We are honored to work alongside you to support the ever-changing and ongoing needs of our community.